a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
Cheers, Carter, for making me look dramatic and all that. The truth was a bit less glamorous. Back up, shall we? When my brother, the crazy chicken warrior, turned into a falcon and went up the pyramid's chimney with his new friend, the fruit bat, he left me playing nurse to two very wounded people, which I didn't appreciate, and which I wasn't particularly good at. Poor Amos's wounds seemed more magical than physical. He didn't have a mark on him, but his eyes were rolled up in his head, and he was barely breathing. Steam curled from his skin when I touched his forehead, so I decided I'd best leave him for a moment. Zia was another story. Her face was deathly pale, and she was bleeding from several nasty cuts on her leg. One of her arms was twisted at a bad angle. Her breath rattled, with a sound like wet sand. Welcome to Updale Discuss, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
Hi everybody, I'm Raye, following the path of Geb.
And I'm Charlie, following the path of Bast. Yo, bro, things are happening. We are in the end game. I can't believe this is the third to last chapter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So amazing.
We kept talking about how much more we had, and now I feel like it's crept up on me. Like, we're almost there, man.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Yeah. I am sad though that we technically didn't see the moment that I was like, oh my god, we're gonna get to that next chapter. We didn't see it yet. We didn't get to that.
Nope.
So it's gonna happen next time.
Let's talk about this chapter, cause really, yeah.
You wanna tell me about Zia telling me a secret? What was the secret? Was it good? Was it juicy? Is it about Carter? Did he do something?
It could be, man.
Ray's just looking at me like, whatever, you weirdo.
Yeah, she said the thing that we've been waiting on for so long. So at least there's that.
Yeah, now we can use that in one of our last two chapters.
That works as a chapter title, probably, because we've been fucking waiting. And that's all I really have to say on that. Rick knows.
Waiting. I can't.
Okay.
That's just gonna be me forever now.
Oh,
just
yeah.
So you don't know.
all the leitmotifs. Good times.
Yep, beautiful. But now it's full speed ahead.
God damn it. Okay, so Amos and Zia, they aren't looking so hot, so Sadie decides that she has got no idea what to do about her uncle, so she tries helping Zia out. Zia finally tells somebody Set's name! Thank goodness. Isis tells Sadie not to touch her dad's coffin, but she touches her dad's coffin. She gets to hang out with Anubis for a minute and talk about the empty underworld throne. She gets to see Bast next to the empty Osiris throne. She sees Iskandar by the empty Pharaoh's throne. And finally, she gets a flashback to her parents right before they did something ill-advised, or divinely inspired, depending on how you look at it. She meets up with her dad, and she yells that she hates him, which is important for her teen angst development. And then she leaves to go join Carter on the roof, and we are now caught up with the last chapter. That's it. We just had to get Sadie back up to speed and do a lot of foreshadowing and whatnot. A lot of it. This was a fascinating chapter. I had a good time.
I still have nothing for you. I'm chilling. I'm existing here in this space today. I'm ready to talk about a chapter if you are.
So yes, I see why the thing that you expected to happen didn't happen, because we did not actually go anywhere in this chapter.
Yeah, apparently Carter was actually, zipping around for longer than we thought. Or it's
they were fighting for a while. They were busy.
Yeah, and Sadie did some, mind trip things.
Oh, right, true. That could have been instantaneous.
Lots of stuff happening. Alright, so, we are in Sadie's POV. I love how she's just like, wow, thanks for making me look all dramatic, but right now I gotta go back and spill some tea about everything that was happening while you were like crazy chicken dude.
I was also doing important stuff, like having, a drug trip.
Yeah, and being like, wow, you wanted me to play nurse? I'm not good at that. Don't make me play nurse, Carter. Amos, his wounds are magical, and I mean, I feel like it's not necessarily just magical. I think it also could be mental as well. Like, like
he's definitely unwell. I don't know that wound is even the right word. He's got something going on. She tries to touch him and like steam comes off and she's like, I'm not doing anything about that right now.
Yeah, I think that man is like dealing with some like emotional trauma, as well as like magical trauma, like
actual trauma. Like he nearly burned out. Set said. Like
that's what I was about to say. Like literally, he's at like his absolute limits. He has nothing left at this moment, but he just barely survived. So he's gonna need a good sleep and some good food. He needs to get his mana back,
Good soup.
And then Zia, well, she's just the normal amount of dying.
We don't always get like wounds like this. Whenever Arms is fucked up, she's all cut up on her leg.
Yeah, and
Sadie's like, I'm gonna stop you from bleeding out. I guess that when this happens in Percy Jackson, you just pour some nectar on it and call it good.
Yeah, we don't have that here. So it is a little bit worse. And Sadie's like, okay, healing magic. How do we do the thing? And Zia's like,
no time.
Let's do the thing. It's been enough chapters. We've waited a long enough time. Set. You know him? He was born.
I'm familiar.
He was. An evil day. He was born in the evil day.
Evil day. That's it.
That's his secret name. There we go.
That's not even that secret set. Do better.
I want to know how evil of a day it is. That's why. That's interesting. I don't know, man. It's just a day.
It is New Year's Eve, right?
Not quite.
No,
it's like,
okay.
I want to say it's like the 28th or 29th or something. It's in my calendar. Don't you worry about it.
So he's in the middle. I was thinking he was at the end for some reason.
His is on the 29th. So
okay.
The day after his is Isis, and the last day is Nephthys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
29th of December, guys. Fucking evil as hell.
Clearly, it's the most evil day you've ever heard. Because that's his secret name.
Very, very secret. I love how she just tells us in the book, but like obviously it doesn't work for us because you have to hear it from his loved one or whatever. So, but I still think it's funny. Like, I feel like we shouldn't know this.
Yeah, but I don't know. Again, they are like specifically like it's the magic and all of that. It's like it's also the Annunciation and everything. You have to say it with the oomph. And once again, we're like, wait, but Zia, you're not Nephthys. We've been over this, okay? Like, who the fuck are you?
I'm really mad because I was like trying to figure it out. I remembered while I was trying to figure it out. Cool. So now I can't talk about it at all. Not that I had any ideas. I do not think this is obvious at all. There is like maybe one hint.
I was gonna ask if you had like any theories, and since you remember, I guess we cannot just talk about it. But what Sadie says is that like she's looking at Zia and then she's like, wait a second. The stuff that Iskander was talking about how he was gonna protect her, and some things that Thoth has said click together.
Seems weird.
That's what we get.
Yeah. So my admittance is I would never have gotten this. What do you think? Like, how are you feeling about your hypothetical unknowledgeable self?
So the thing is, I've also been listening to our lovely friends on Seaweed Brain cover this. I am trying to remember if they'd said they'd read this book before, because I know they were theorizing and they did get it right. But I'm just like, if you got it, if you like if you had read the book before, it doesn't count. But I don't think they did. I just know it was mentioned. And I was like, oh, you guys, you figured that out? I love it. Good job. Amazing.
Hell yeah. Anyways, sorry to our friends who don't know what we're talking about. We'll get there soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be next chapter, because I think the last one is wrap up.
Yeah.
I think the next chapter is battle and everything, like, fully finished. And the last one is like, we're wrapping up the story. This is
as you do
happen,
in one of these books. You always get your little chapter that maybe has a twist in it with the little cliffhanger for next book,
Yeah. But yeah, so Sadie figures it out, and Zia's like, correct. So,
and they just don't elaborate.
Go. So you gotta go help Carter. And I love Sadie. She's like, don't go anywhere.
Yeah. No, I love the way that Rick wrote this out. I don't know. I've been like trying to write recently and just don't ... go anywhere. Like, very good.
Beautiful. Wonderful. So Sadie being like, oh no, trauma, I have to turn into a kite. Don't want Animorph right now. Ooh, what if I save my dad? What if I do that?
That is what she's wanted to do this whole time, is go save her dad.
It is. It's true. And her and Isis going back and forth like, we gotta deal with Set, we gotta do that. Like, no, I can just, like, get him out of the throne. Like, he's right there. It'll be easy. Don't worry about it. And she just touches it, and Vision Land. We're in Vision Land.
Vision journey for Sadie. She's gonna go see dead people.
Well,
just like The Shining.
She does see some dead people, actually. That's
true. They're like all dead people. I was thinking about this.
Well, I mean, Anubis isn't technically dead.
He's not a dead...
Amit's not dead.
Okay. They are dead adjacent.
There you go. Alright, so she goes to the land of the dead, and it's still, like, half in New Orleans. Again,
very
Amit's
cute.
there.
It's like their first
she's sleeping. He's sleeping. Once again, the misgendering of Amit always frustrates me. I'm never gonna be over it.
What if this Amit specifically, I'm not saying I'm trying to do anything to regular Amit, but what if we just say that this little guy is gender fluid?
It could happen.
She, her, and he, him.
We also don't know if Rick changes the gender later on in the other books, like he did with Blackjack. So, or maybe this
could
Amit
happen,
is trans.
but I wouldn't think so, because that didn't really happen until after Blackjack got named.
True. Yeah, Anubis is here. He's wearing a suit.
Oh my gosh.
With his tie not tied. Wow. What a weirdo. Anyway, I feel like Sadie could have taken, like, another second to look at him in that, because, like, she's been thirsty for this boy all book, and I'm just like, if I saw a guy I liked wearing a suit...
Okay, with the, like, the tie untied, adding just, like, that hint of casual, like, that's even better, actually.
Yeah! Just saying. She was like, maybe he just come back a funeral, or possibly a convention for really gorgeous undertakers. And I'm like...
So she does mention he's gorgeous, but she is also preoccupied, and she's
also
weirdly
kind of
attached to this guy. She is, like, just, like, really relieved to see him and get to talk to him in, like, this really stressful time in her life. And I'm like, oh, you actually like him. Like him a lot.
Yeah. Oh no, they had an instant connection.
Apparently. It's weird shit.
It is. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I want to be happy for them, but I can't stop thinking about the age gap. It's so bad.
Listen, if Edward Cullen and Bella Swan can be happy.
But that's, like, okay, we're talking about, like, if Edward Cullen instead got turned into a vampire when he was, like, 24 instead of 18. It's somehow worse, isn't it?
No, he's still 17, but Bella is, like, 14, 15.
Oh, God, fuck, that's feels
the difference,
so bad.
Actually.
Oh, no. Oh. Not thinking about that, too. I'm so sorry I bring this up every time. I don't like it. That, You really put it into perspective there. That oof.
Yeah, because like technically they are both still minors, at least physically,
Yes.
whatever. But it's still the awkwardness of like that's a few years too old.
Yeah. See, somehow
He's developed, you have not.
yeah, somehow the immortal 17 is worse when she's 14 to me. Like, if she is even less mature.
Yeah. And he's like immortal 15, 16, and she's 12.
Ooh. Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay, too much on that topic.
Again, that's why I'm like I like that they are connecting on like an emotional level.
Yeah,
Like
it's nice.
anyway, like they're friends too, okay? Like forget the fact that they have crushes on each other, clearly, but they're also friends. So
he holds her hand here. He takes her hand and they walk to the throne and, you know, talk about balance and stuff as they do.
Yep, that's Ma'at. You need balance. We need the restoration of Ma'at. The scales are broken. And Sadie's like, it's not fair.
Yeah, she isn't like cognizantly understanding what exactly they're talking about, but she knows that it feels. He sounded sad, as if he were asking me to accept something terrible. I didn't understand, but a profound sense of loss crept over me.
Like she knows, but she's in denial. She's been in denial this whole time.
I think by the end of this she knows, but here I don't know that she does exactly. I don't know.
I feel like she's known this whole time that she's gonna lose her dad, you know?
I don't know. It's kind of both to me. Like, it's
Maybe.
so subconscious that I don't know that I can call it actually knowing. Like, I feel like it's more like
Fair.
a dread that's been creeping up on her. But, like, that's what I was talking about with Amos, too, so...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe that's just the vibe of these books. Rick, what are you doing? What's going on here? He's just in his dread era. Okay? And then everything melts away. And then instead, we're in a different throne room. It's the throne room of the gods. The one where, you know, Ra would have taken the throne and Horus would have taken the throne. And Bast is there.
Hanging out by Osiris's empty throne, yeah.
It says empty throne of Osiris, and I'm just like, no, that's incorrect because we just saw Osiris's throne. So
I guess Rick means like the throne that Osiris would have held before he ended up down there. So
yeah,
king
like
of
the
the
one
gods.
she's
The king of the
the one
gods
she's
throne.
yeah, the one she saw in the visions, because technically she never saw Ra on the throne or Horus on the throne. She only sees it as Osiris because that's where
I hadn't thought about it like that. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's where he was when he got
chopped up.
Yep, put into his coffin. And yeah, Bast is here. The fact that, like, we have a conversation, but we also don't have a conversation because, like, Bast is kind of ignoring everything Sadie's saying. Like, don't be sad. It's okay. I'm dead, but I'm not. Like, we need a king. So, good luck. Bye.
Yeah, sometimes there's no question answering. There is only go do your job. Sorry.
There's only ominous. And then we get the king of ominous himself, Iskandar.
He's back.
He's back. He's been dead for like 2 days. And he's like, "Hey, the pharaoh? We need one of those."
Remember that guy?
We haven't had one in 2,000 years. We need a new pharaoh, okay?
So now we've been in 3 different places with empty thrones, and Sadie says, it's too much. You can't expect Carter to do all that. And he says, not alone, but it's your family's burden.
Yeah, that's a lot to put on these 2 kids.
It sure is.
And the guy who's traumatized in the corner.
and their dead mom.
And their dead mom and their dad who's stuck in a coffin right underneath her. Like,
yeah, not ideal.
It's not great.
But, you know.
And then she gets a different kind of vision. We're not talking about thrones right now. We are at the Thames. You know,
I love this moment where she's like, I thought it was a random couple, and then I realized that's my parents.
Yeah, I mean, you never would have expected that, right?
Right, yeah. And, you know, it's been so long, in her mind, her dad is older than this, and she hasn't seen her mom in so long. Like that second that it takes her to register who they are, I think that's really cool and interesting.
Yeah.
We're both dying. Very, very fun of us. It'll be
I'm
fun
so
to
sorry.
record, to edit.
So very fun. It is 3 in the morning, is what she says, and now I'm just like thinking, is that like one of the magical times? Possibly.
I don't know about Egyptian, but 3 in the morning is like the
witching
witching
hour?
hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I wonder if that counts as like one of the potential magical times because
Maybe
that's
they
when they're
just didn't
doing it.
want anybody to be there.
Maybe. Or maybe that, like, maybe I'm overthinking it and that's just supposed to be for portals, but I'm like, could that also work for magical objects if you wanted to have the most time?
Yeah,
Type
it
of
makes
magic,
sense that,
you
like,
know?
adding important numbers into, like, the symbology of Egyptian magic makes a lot of sense to me.
That's also, like, very important for Egyptian stuff, actually, as
Mm.
well. I don't know if I've mentioned any of that. What is it called? Maybe that should have been, like, one of my myth sections, but
Are you talking
is it?
about numerology?
Yeah, numerology.
Okay.
Like that is very Egyptian linked anyway.
Okay, I didn't know that. I
Um,
almost brought it up just now, but
yeah, let me look really quickly about.
we could do a little mini myth section right now.
I could do that. Let's see. Because there is something very specific about the triad of Horus, Osiris, and Isis that I remember. And not gonna lie, I know all of this because of House of Anubis.
Uh,
So so in case you missed it,
but yeah, let's just
uh,
skip to the Egyptian section if we can find one.
yeah, numbers in Egyptian mythology is like the page that I found. Do. Okay, where's the thing about them as a triad specifically? Oh, okay, we have. Okay, well, there's the thing about when the god Atum. I know he's one of the like gods who like made everything basically. So when he was one and became three, he gave birth to his two children, Shu and Tefnut. You remember those guys? They are the like grandparents of Osiris and Isis and the rest of them. Where is the thing that I'm thinking of about Horus and Isis and Osiris? Because they're supposed to be like specific numbers, is what I was remembering. I don't think that show made it up, but I don't
It
know
could
where I
have.
would find that.
I do see, so what they have on this page that I am looking at is, various examples of repeated threes and then like the same for 5 and the same for 7 because those are like very important numbers.
Yeah, because I think it was like that specifically what I'm remembering from that show was they were like, oh yeah, Osiris and Iris. Osiris. I can't speak right
That's
now.
their ship name.
Osiris. Osiris and Isis were like the numbers 4 and 5 representative, and I think Horus was represented as 3 or something like that, where like each of them was represented by a specific number.
That's really interesting.
And that's like something that they played on in the show for a little bit. But this is specifically going on about like Ra was named 3 times for the dawn, the noon, and the evening. Thoth is the thrice great god of wisdom, stuff like that. Like there's a lot of stuff going on with threes. 3 is the symbol of plurality.
I think that it's interesting because the Bible also has like big things about 3 and 7 and also 40 for whatever reason. I feel like 3 and 7 are just like good numbers in the brain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. And put them together and they make 10. So
look at that.
that also like just feels correct as well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's specifically 3, 5, and 7 are like the important ones. Maybe it was it was definitely 4, 5, and 3. I swear, because it was like Horus is like the first perfect prime number or something, and that's 3, right?
I guess.
I think.
I don't know what makes a prime number perfect. Like
I don't know, man.
I think your show might have made this up.
No, at least according to Google.
I
am correct. The number 3 is a significant symbol of plurality and cleanness, and it's connected to the concept of the pharaoh as a manifestation of Horus.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I do see it talking about plurality in the wiki page as well. So
yeah, yeah, there's I don't know. There's something going on there with them, and it doesn't say what 5 represents necessarily, but it does say that 7 represents another symbol of perfection, effectiveness, and completeness.
Mm-hmm.
So we love that. They needed 7,000 barrels of red beer for Sekhmet.
Damn, girl.
That's amazing. That is so many. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to it, I suppose.
I'll be done with it. But I was really trying to go on something.
So close. So yeah, it's 3 a.m. It's plurality time. I don't know why it would need to be, but maybe that's something.
But I think that's something. I think that makes sense, you know? Anyway, it's her parents.
Her parents are both beautiful, obviously.
Yes, they are so gorgeous. Why are they so hot? Her dad looks like a king. And her mom looks like her. That's weird when you're like, wow, she's so gorgeous, but also she looks like this 12-year-old girl. And then we get this whole thing with Ruby Kane. Okay, yes. She told me this is where it begins. And then we see her necklace. It's Sadie's necklace.
Isis, yeah.
It's Sadie's necklace! Ah! Boy howdy. That's... I mean, I forgot that this was a twist. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot that we didn't know this information already. I thought it was very obvious.
I don't know. I guess that we knew that they were talking to the gods, but... Or maybe we didn't? I thought that we did know that, but we knew that she had visions, so maybe it was just supposed to be that? I don't remember.
I swear we knew that she had talked to Isis before.
I don't think not Isis. I don't know.
Clearly we didn't.
We definitely did not know that she was channeling her.
Yeah. No, I wasn't sure if we knew that she was I don't think we knew that she was channeling her. But I was like, we definitely knew she was talking to her, right? I thought that was mentioned, but I don't know, man.
It really must not have been, because this is definitely a twist for Sadie. She's like, yeah, you knew my mom and you told her to do this? Fuck you.
But also, Sadie, you remember, Isis has been looking like your mom in every single image you've seen of her. It's not that far of a leap. Come on. I
don't know.
And it makes sense if your dad is channeling Osiris right now. There you go. Alright, so they have to, if they want to defeat the enemy, they have to start with the obelisk, okay? They gotta find out the truth. They have a protective circle, and Ruby Kane will not call on Isis for help.
Yeah, she's not going to use her power because it's too much for her.
She knows her limits. Mm-hmm. Very good. We appreciate it.
Well, she knows her limits as far as calling on gods. She apparently doesn't know her limits as far as opening obelisks, because this doesn't really work out.
I mean, maybe she just knew that this wasn't her place. Maybe she just knew that this is what she needed to do that night, is that she needed to be the sacrifice. Because it wasn't her role to play. And all of that, bullshit.
Well, clearly she already knew that, Sadie, their dad explains that their blood is so good and pure. Love that, Rick. Let's... Please don't do that anymore. But, it was always going to be Sadie and Carter that had to do this shit. So I don't think, that she ever thought that she was going to be Isis's long-term host.
Yeah, again, I'm just like, she's a diviner. She knows exactly what has to happen here. She knows that she has to die today, and she cannot tell her husband, because
I think that you're probably right, but I kind of hate it. Just
That's fair.
In
the fate scenario of
I don't like the fate scenario, but I also don't like a mom leaving her children with a huge responsibility and no mom. That feels kind of shitty to me.
The parents in this series are kind of bad. Let's be clear about that. And they know it. They both know it.
Mm-hmm.
So, at least that's something.
There's a lot of putting the duty of what the world needs above what you want in this book right here. So we can think about it like that.
Yeah, it's not amazing. But it is kind of the opposite of Percy.
Yeah.
So that's something that
Percy
Rick's playing
says
with.
defiantly, yeah, I'm gonna do what I can for the world, but my people are the most important to me.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where Rick is falling flat here a little bit, of like, wait, excuse me? What happened to, like, I don't care, like, about what's happening with everybody else, I just care about my mom, or Grover,
No,
or Annabeth.
I like this. I think that this is good. We're gonna get more of it later, so I want to like kind of save that conversation. But I remember this like feeling so specifically because I thought that it was like one of the most interesting things I'd seen a book do, like for middle grade fiction. Like this is a fascinating take, and it makes a lot of sense. Like when you're Spider-Man and
How
MJ
dare you?
and a bus full of people are both dangling off a bridge. Sometimes you can't grab them both, and you have to make choices. This we're trolley probleming these children, and it's fucked up. No one likes to be in a trolley problem, but you have to make
Ray,
choices, man.
Ray, I'm gonna go find where you are. I'm gonna bring you to a trolley, and then we're gonna go test it out in real time, okay? All right? And then when the blood splatters all over your face.
I would not like that very much. I would also have a mental breakdown.
Yep, we would all be cheaty in that situation, because fucking Michael, how dare you, dude? Why would you do that?
It's really fucked up, yeah.
I mean, he was a torturer, so that's kind of what he was doing.
Man, I should watch that show.
Have you watched it all the way through? Have you
No,
watched it?
I never have, no. I know.
Okay.
It is the best.
You know what?
I know this.
Whatever we're talking about right here doesn't matter. Everybody go tell Raye to watch The Good Place. You need to bully them right now.
Watching TV is hard. We were talking about this earlier. You understand television.
No. This is an important show that I is on my annual rewatch list. So you need to watch it. It does not take as much of your brain as Arcane does. So
all right, we'll get there eventually someday.
you will fall in love.
I'm the chronic unfinisher. It's really bad. There are several shows that I never watched the last episode of specifically, and I don't know how to explain that mental block.
No.
I know that it just gets better and it's like fantastic and like one of the best like sitcoms ever made in the whole universe.
The only time I agree with just like stopping a show before the end is when I rewatch Angel and I'm just like, oh, the next episode they're gonna kill off Fred. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make myself go through that again. So it's gonna end here where everybody is still happy. And because Angel doesn't have a satisfying ending regardless. So it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter to me if I finish the show.
So
alright, we were talking about
back to Sadie. She's yelling at Isis, she's mad.
Of course. Wouldn't you be? Wouldn't you be mad if the person in your brain was like, I actually like had a friendship with your mother. She asked me for advice and everything, and she channeled my power, and then she died. Like,
because of the advice that I gave her,
Wouldn't you want to know? Huh?
Yeah, she just found out that the person that she had been hanging out with sort of got her mom killed. This is just like Disney's Brother Bear.
She's Coda! Oh my god. Wild. Yeah. So Sadie mad, and then
Papa.
The vision ends. It's so cute. They kiss one last time, and then the place glows, and then she sees the vision of her dad as she yanks her hands away from the sarcophagus. Like, he's right there, he's underneath, but also he does like a little...
He's doing a little astral projection, as you do.
Yeah. But, the way she's saying, like, his voice sounded, like, far away still. Like, when he used to call me on the phone when he was so far away. Like, oh no. This is ripping my heart out, man. It's like, don't blame Isis. It's not her fault. It was your mom's decision to abandon you.
Yeah, and then she says it was her decision to die. Isis should have helped her. You should have helped her. I hate you. And then she immediately
Catharsis!
feels bad for saying that. And yeah, she's able to let this thing out that she's been carrying for years, and her dad absolutely understands that. And I love that for them. That's very good.
It's very grown up. Yeah. He's like, you have every right to feel that way. Go to therapy, please.
But also, I'm glad that you got that out because, when horrible things happen to me because of a decision that you're about to make, I don't want you to feel like it's because you resent me or whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna make the right decision for the right reasons. I believe in you. And she is in denial definitely at this point.
Yeah. And also, okay, so they explain like Isis communing with Ruby and everything. Like Isis couldn't cross over. She could barely manage a whisper. But she told them about the imprisonment and everything and did her best. Said there would be hard sacrifices. And they thought this was going to release everybody, but it only
that's
released
interesting.
fast.
Yeah.
And yeah. And the fact that if Ruby had used the divine power from either Bast or Isis, she would have been consumed or worse.
I don't know what the worst is in that case, but
For one thing, I want to know what they mean by consumed.
like consumed by fire, like when you burn up because you overused your power. That's a thing that we know happens.
Yeah, but I'm just like, wait, but I thought using the god's power was supposed to keep you from that. Anyway, I don't know.
It's like overtaxing a computer. That you get overclocked and then you overheat and
Oh, you mean what I've been doing on my computer every day lately?
yeah.
Just to play Baldur's Gate. Yep, I get it. I understand.
Yeah, there you go.
I need to rename my computer Ruby Kane.
Damn.
Yeah, and then we get into the blood purity, blah, 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 blah.
Not ideal.
I get, like, that it does also make some sense with, like, their two lines coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that does bring back some power. And, okay, I feel like we should also talk a little bit about, like, the previous, like hosting situation of the gods. And, like, so I don't necessarily think it has to do with, like, bloodline in the way that, like, oh, your bloodline is, like, better for magic. No, it's like, your ancestors literally tried this for, like, generations, and that's why you're better at it. Than, like, somebody who's, like, doesn't have any of that in their lineage. It's not great, but there's
just no way that I can excuse it, honestly. Like,
yeah,
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense in the narrative. Like, it's perfectly logical and whatnot. It just sucks. So, if I had to give an explanation that feels less icky to me, it's just straight up that the gods have a preference. They're like, we like these ones where just feels better to possess.
They should also, just straight up say, like, Horus hasn't felt, like, this sense of, like, connection with any other human in a long time or something, like, it should be something along those lines of, like, no, I also just connect with you on that specific level. Like, you guys are, like, really good at magic, whatever, but there's also this other, like, emotional connection level.
Yeah.
Of getting each other.
It also might feel a little better if they were, like, kind of explained as being almost like reincarnations of specific pharaohs, like how their dad looks like that one guy. Like,
yeah.
Something like that would almost feel better to me instead of, you could do that instead of the bloodline thing. You could be like, you are a reincarnation of, like, this very powerful person, and that is what makes you so good at this. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to make any of it, like, necessarily better. I'm just like, I remember, like, Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero have, like, similar type of lore where it's like, oh yeah, like, your family is only third generation of, like, knowing magic, so you guys aren't as good at this stuff yet.
So
like,
that's where where you're getting that idea from. That makes sense.
Like, it's taught down by, like, generations and all of this. And, like, the more that family, like, learns magic, the more is passed down, so the more powerful the next person is how that system works. And that makes sense to me, where it's like, it's a bloodline, but it's like a bloodline that still learned how to do a thing, and they're just passing knowledge down. And I want to make this work with passing knowledge down, but it doesn't very well with
because
the whole,
like, the knowledge hasn't really been passed down. It wasn't passed down to them until like right now.
More than 2,000 years. Like, however many thousands of years we've had no person like
acting
hosting
as the
a
pharaoh,
god.
not hosting gods. Yeah. So it doesn't. Yeah.
So like, I want to make it make sense like that, but it doesn't make sense like that. Anyway, I just wanted to pad out this episode. I'm not gonna lie.
They don't have to be long, bestie.
No, I just wanted it to be more than 30 minutes because I thought it was going to be 30 minutes long.
We love to chatter. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry. It's like Star Wars midichlorians. No one likes it, and you just have to kind of deal with it.
Yeah, we didn't need that. We just didn't need that. He could have still been Space Jesus. Without midichlorians.
He basically is anyways. Yeah.
I feel like the Force could have just birthed him and we didn't need the midichlorians.
You're right. It was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, anyway, Sadie's still trying to argue, like, I can free you. I can break the throne. I can break the coffin. Like, can we please try to do that? And, God, we already talked about this, like, 20 minutes ago. But Julius is like, no, this is all about duty and everything. Like, I had to sacrifice so much for you guys, even though I couldn't be with you. Like, I'm still sacrificing for you, even if I can't be your parents, you know? And it fucking sucks. And he's like, the power of Osiris will be consumed by the pyramid if I'm gone, basically. Like, I think he's the only thing that's keeping Osiris alive, is what I'm getting from this.
Well, also the coffin itself. Like, the coffin is containing Osiris's essence, and keeping it from getting sucked into the pyramid.
So what you do is what you do is you break the throne, you pull the coffin out, you, like, throw it out the side of the pyramid, and then he can burst out of it.
This sounds like a great plan, actually. We should do that.
Why don't people just listen to me? Sometimes I have great ideas for how you can solve the situation. You know? Rose, you could have saved Jack, okay? You could have saved him.
Disagree. She tries to pull him up on the thing, and or he tries to climb up. It almost tips. He can't get up there. Everyone has always said this forever, and it's always bothered me. He can't get up there. He literally tried. That's my hot take.
I guess this is how we know that we have such different worldviews. Is the Titanic situation.
He tries, guys. Watch the movie again. I promise you.
I refused to watch that movie because I was just like, I didn't want to be here in the first place. Why am I being forced to watch this? It's so dumb. Why are we romanticizing
tragic
a horrific event in history?
Yeah, it's really weird.
That's specifically why I did not want to watch it. My mom was like, you're gonna sit through this 3-hour movie and you're gonna like it.
I mean, it's pretty good. It is. I mean, you're right that it's weird though, but I mean, also, people just do that. I don't know.
So, Kane Chronicles.
Yeah, so going back to that, Sadie remembers Anubis asking to save the world, would you sacrifice your father? I think that this is the first time that, like, she in any way consciously acknowledges, like, that she knows.
She knows.
Like, before this, I don't think so, but.
Has to take the throne through death. Life. It is the only way. May Ma'at guide you. There you go. And Zia's been calling her name this whole time as she's been having this vision journey. Like, Sadie, you have to go save the world. What are you doing?
Worry about it, Zia.
What are you doing? And yeah.
So she's still mad at Isis, but she still manages to do, you know, the fucking fusion dance, whatever.
Fusion, ha!
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was easier with Carter and Horace. With this one, I don't necessarily believe that they could have done it as easily as they do. Like, I think they needed to talk a little bit more, you know?
It's not that they, like, on a personal level are, like, bonding or, like, have bonded and, like, agree. It's so the way that I see this is they have the same resolve in this moment. And, like, their upset emotions, even their upset emotions at each other, are fueling that. And so, like, because they can, like, perfectly sync together on what they need to do, like, they are able to do this. But I don't,
guess,
that's not really in the text. That's just my explanation.
yeah. Like, I get what you're saying. I get that, like, both Isis and Sadie are like, I'm upset that I have to lose this very important person, but I know that's what I have to do to save the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think I needed another, like, sentence of them talking about that.
Right.
If
Like,
you get
like
it.
kind of explaining that, like, a little bit of elaboration on this line, my resolve, my anger, even my grief gave me confidence.
Yeah, but it feels like Sadie's like, we're gonna talk about this later. Right now, let's go to feed set. And I'm like, honey, you need therapy. Wait a second.
Well, that's also what Zia says, which is very funny.
Yeah.
She says, I'm fine, and Zia's like, you're literally not fine. You are about to die because you are too emotionally fucked up.
Yeah. Fading set in your condition would be suicide. But she's like, we have a plan. Because it's her and it's Isis, and they're together, and
they're doing it. They're making it happen.
They anamorph. They anamorph away.
Yeah. We did it.
Yay! We did it. We did it.
I didn't think about plugs, so I don't know if I talked about this before, but I re-listened to Beetlejuice like 3 times yesterday. That musical fucking slaps.
Nice.
Did you know this about me? Did you know that I love him, Mr. Beetlejuice? He's my
I'm
little
not
guy.
surprised. I'm not surprised. He definitely fits your vibe.
Yeah, okay.
You have a few types. I'm aware of them.
Interesting. Ominous. I also like OT3s. I think Beetlejuice should get together with Adam and Barbara. Just for fun. Specifically in the musical. We're not talking about them other guys.
We're not? Oh, okay. I only have the context of the movie. I know the musical exists.
Oh, interesting.
I have not consumed it. So, I did watch the sequel.
Broski! I haven't seen the sequel.
It was okay.
Okay, good. I would like to see it.
All that matters is that, oh fuck, what's her name? They cast, the girl, she's in everything now, but she's Wednesday.
Oh.
Yeah. They cast her because, like, obviously she's the perfect young creepy girl in place of Winona Ryder to be her daughter. So I'm like, yeah, that is good. That fits. That's amazing. That movie had too many plot lines is the problem. It tried to do a lot.
So musical Beetlejuice is kind of just a little guy as opposed to movie Beetlejuice, who's like a huge piece of shit constantly. He is a piece of shit.
He was less of an asshole. Like, can we get a little bit of, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why he's like this?
It's because his mom sucks in the musical, which is really funny. He's also really sad and lonely. He just wants friends. The musical follows the movie plot line, kind of, but so the wedding, he specifically the explanation is that it's like a green card thing. He wants to be Lydia's bestest friend, like cartoon Beetlejuice, but he's like, yay, we'll get married so that I can be alive and stuff. I'm so happy.
Honestly, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why do you want to marry this child? That's really weird.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
Can you not?
I would say just listen to it, but you don't get a lot of the plot. The second half doesn't have a ton of songs, and a lot of things happen without a lot of explanation if you're just listening to the songs, unfortunately.
No.
There are, like, slime tutorials, but yeah, I know that you're also a live theater person, bro. I could never live like that.
It's not necessarily that I'm a live theater person, it's just that I want to watch it before I listen to it. So, like, I'm okay with other means,
Okay, well, there's
but
bootlegs. They're not super high quality, but it's an incredibly funny show. It's an incredibly heartwarming show. It adds in a whole plot line about Lydia dealing with grief after her mother's death. She has a lot of like very
good!
good songs about that. It is super effective. Like, oh my god, it hits so hard.
Because, like, I feel like whenever I watch the movie, I'm just like, I can't remember, is that her mother or her stepmother? And it's, like, not really important to the plot, whether it is or not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that you would super like this show. I think you should definitely check it out in whatever ways you are able.
could happen. And you know what else I've been playing besides Baldur's Gate 3?
All right, let me know.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Ooh. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game.
I haven't either, so I don't understand the meta narrative that's going on whatsoever.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I have like read a very little about the Assassin's Creed meta narrative, and it sounds fucking insane.
Yeah, I tried looking on the wiki for a few things. I'm just like, what the fuck does that word mean when I'm trying to look up things about the main character of this game? That's weird. What the fuck are you talking about? This thing happened and this thing happened. And these people are these things. I'm so confused. I just know that I start this game, they do immediately put you into the Battle of 300. Which, like, it's definitely the tutorial level, so, like, it's fine. Like, you're not gonna, like, immediately die right there. Like, it's telling you, like, this is the button to use to do this thing, and to do this thing.
Games love a dramatic opening scene these days. Like,
Yeah,
hyper dramatic.
And then it goes into, like, hey, we found this spear from the guy you were just playing as, and let's whip up this machine thingy so I can go into the past. And I'm just like, you've lost me.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck's going on there. All I know is I'm gonna play as the girl because she's cool and she's kind of hot.
Hell yeah.
And also, she's the canonical main character of the game. As I found out, they actually wanted to just be her as the main character. And then whoever was, like, above the people, like, writing the game was like, actually, we need to have a guy as well as an option, or
because
else,
dude bros are literally so fucking shitty.
But they were still shitty about it anyway.
Well, I know. I'm aware.
Because she doesn't look pretty. She's buff and everything, you know?
My god. Oh my god.
She is so pretty, though. Look up Cassandra Assassin's Creed Odyssey. She's so pretty. Yeah. But so she's technically the canonical main character. You play as her. Yeah, there's a lot of daddy issues in this game. This is daddy issues,
right? Given
the game.
Yeah.
And
it's hilarious.
There's a lot of historical shit, there's a lot of mythological shit, and then there's a lot of stuff that they made up. So it's pretty cool. And
how's the gameplay?
I am still getting used to using the WASD, because I did not do that before I played Starfield, actually. Baldur's Gate is like click. You like click to move.
Yes.
So I've been getting carpal tunnel.
Oh god. Oh my god. Broski.
From fucking, like, trying to do all the things at once. And I'm just like, should I have not gotten this on Steam?
Do you have a controller? Like, I play Hades 2 early access with a Nintendo Switch plug-in controller. If you have a USB one that you buy for like $20, you can plug that into your computer.
I should try this. This is a mental note for Charlie for later to try doing that, because it's such a fucking hassle for me to do these things. I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that part of the game. I've been getting better at it, but it still sucks. I'm better at controllers.
I don't have Odyssey, but I know that I have a couple of Assassin's Creed games on Steam, so I should definitely try one.
Odyssey, okay. I recommend Odyssey for, like, if you've been paying attention to anything that I've been talking about. There's, like, a lot of, like, fun little things.
Right.
one of my favorite little details that's in this game. It's like the most, I want to say it's one of the most basic Greek details that you can get, but like you're in ancient Greece, you see Hermes everywhere. And do you remember anything about the god Hermes? He's the god of like travelers and like
so he's
roadways.
got shrines like all the fucking over, yeah.
And his shrines are like boundary markers basically, like between like different places. So you see these Herms is what they're called everywhere. Okay. In the game, they did censor them a little bit because usually it's like a big like rectangle of like marble, Hermes head on top, and then a dick. That's they really do not have dicks on them. But you do see Hermes' face like on these different like places on the road every so often.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, I love this. This is so good. Somebody did some research. It's great. Oh, yeah.
That's wonderful.
I went to visit the Pythia, the Oracle. Like, I got to see that. It was so good. Also, why am I hanging out with Herodotus? You know that guy who wrote the first history book, but also a lot of it was not history. Why is he here? Why is he my new buddy?
Just cuz.
That's so weird. Everything is so weird. Apparently there's a lot more like real historical figures that are in this game. They kind of, smudged some history together because I want to say it's supposed to be the Peloponnesian War or whatever. It's like Sparta versus Athens is what's happening through all of Greece. And you can take a side and technically you are Spartan. So you could do that. But also you could not. And I'm just like, I don't know who I wanna fight for. Like, what if I just keep them at each other's throats? What if I make this worse?
Oh my goodness, Charlie.
Will I get more goodies if I keep them fighting each other?
Oh my god.
Because, like, you can literally, like, conquer lands in the name of, like, this place or this place.
Interesting. Wow.
And you get to be involved in, like, the big battle of conquest. And I'm just like, well, I definitely had to conquer a place in name of Sparta so that I could finish a quest. Like, one of the mainline quests. So I had to do that. But I'm just like, what if I reconquered it for Athens now? Now that I'm done with that.
Okay.
Maybe? I don't know, man. Could be fun. Yeah, I enjoy it.
I love that. I love that. That sounds so lovely. We should go though. We've been here for a little while now.
You want to go?
Yeah. Why don't you release us from this mortal coil?
How dare you? That's so
release me
mean.
from this mortal coil, just like the Kane parents.
I guess I'm gonna trap Raye in a coffin. And then I'm gonna build a throne on top of it.
Literally, how am I supposed to get out of your house?
Oh, no, it's fine. You'll be, like, under the floorboards forever, and I'll hear your beating heart forever. That's actually Edgar Allan Poe. But it's fine.
That's part of it, huh? That's your kink?
That's my kink. The new kink. Yeah, get out of my fucking house before I try to do that to you.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I'm
try
to
gone.
escape.
I'm going. Okay, bye.
Bye. Of the Eldest Gods would like to thank its $10 and up patrons. This means you're either in the Savior of Olympus tier or the God Complex tier on our Patreon, patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. Thank you all so much for your support, especially Matt, our God Complex patron.
You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send us a message through the duat to oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about the Riordanverse or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology, no promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. If you want to hear from more, if you want to hear more from me, Raye, check out my. If you want to hear more from me, Raye, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with the meme maker Robert called The Bits, where we talk about the Cartoon Network show Steven Universe. I also co-host a non-network podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo. Our music was created and produced by Isabel Strauss-Riggs. You can find Isabel at Kane I, that's I is in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing The Kane Chronicles. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
If you're evil and you're on the rise,
you can count on the 2 of us taking you down.
That's right, folks. After a year and a half of covering Season 1 of Steven Universe,
The Bits is finally covering Season 2 of our favorite queer cartoon from over 10 years ago.
We're coming back better than ever.
With new questions to ask and new Pearl points to give.
We're hoping this season won't have as many breaks.
And even though we're only covering half as many episodes this season,
we know we'll have even more content.
So, grab some fry bits.
And join your favorite jam buds, Charlie
and Robert, every Friday wherever you get podcasts.
Okay, now I've coughed and I'm ready.
I don't know. That just got stuck in my head. Yeah, I don't know, man. The vibes.
Dave X Media.